What's the best Pappy Van Winkle release of 2023? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. As you can see on the bar top today, today's video is going to be a big one. It's a fun one. It's one that I didn't think that I would be able to do. But before we get into what it is, I hope your Christmas shopping and endeavors are going as planned. I hope you're finding those bottles of Pappies that are hitting the stores at reasonable prices, the B tax as well, and all those other allocated bottles and raffles and everything. I hope you guys are getting those bottles and that your Christmas dreams are coming true. Before we get into this though, I need to thank you guys so much for the love and support. 2023 is coming to a close. You guys have helped me reach my goal of 5,000 subscribers, and we're on that trend to 10,000. So keep smashing that like button. Leave a comment down below on if you've had a Pappy before and which one, if you've had a pour at a restaurant or a buddy has it or you have a bottle or a couple bottles, which one is your absolute favorite? And if you are looking for one, what is the one that you would spend and what's the max you would spend for that bottle? But here on the bar top, let's get through the bottles. We've got the old Rip Van Winkle. This is 10 years old, the bottle at 107 proof. Next up, we've got the Van Winkle Lot B 12-year bottled at 90.4 proof. And then all the way to the left, my left, your right, we've got the Pappy Van Winkle 15-year. This is the Family Reserve coming in at 107 proof. I got a buddy who got all three for this year. I myself have not acquired these three, but he wanted me to do a video of which one is the best. And why would I turn that down to be able to put a Pappy Van Winkle lineup video for you guys before 2023 ends? I'd be crazy to deny it. So we've got them blinded here behind the bottles. They've already been poured and spinny do-rod around. We've got no clue which is which. But this is going to be a fun one. I didn't think that we were going to do much more blinds for 2023, but we are coming through with these blinds and hope you guys are enjoying them. But, we're going to start left to right, move our way through, and then we're going to cleanse our palate and fast forward right to left, and we're going to come up with a winner. So without further ado, let's get into glass number one. I'm getting chocolate. I'm getting a little bit of an espresso. There's vanilla. There's an oaky presence to this. I like this nose a lot, but it's got a little bit of an ethanol burn to it. I get a touch of oak. A touch of oak. Not much coming through on that. But without further ado, let's get into the palate. It's got some heat, but it's got some sting coming through on it too. It's got a touch of a bitterness that rolls over the tip of your tongue, and that's still there from the initial part of the sip. But it's got sweetness. It's got some oaky characteristics coming through on it. The most prevalent note coming through on that is a little bit of a graham cracker. It's got a little bit of a vanilla dusted graham cracker. And there's a touch of this tannic oak that's coming through. It's good. It's really good. Is it the best thing I've ever had? Absolutely not. But you know what? Let's get into the middle glass here. Glass number two. So let's get in the nose. I'm getting a lot more cherry off of this. A lot more cherry. This nose is a little bit more punchier than the first nose. I get a really nice, rich, dark vanilla, like you're smelling a vanilla bean. It's medicinal cherry coming off of this. And it's got like fresh shaved oak shavings in there. That's what the oakiness that I'm getting off of this one. Yeah, I like this nose. I like the nose a little bit more than the first one. It's got a little bit more character to it, a little bit more punch. It's coming through a little bit more. And I can tell you that this one is definitely this bottle here because it is very, very proofed down compared to the first one. But I'm not getting that bitter quality that I got off of the first one. I'm getting almost more of that charred effect that you get from those barrels into this glass here. and it's a very, very sweet char. It's almost like you burnt a marshmallow and you have that outside crust from that marshmallow. It's almost like you're eating that. And then you're getting that smokiness from the fire, but it's not like a peated scotch at all. This is like a very, very like campfire-esque on that palate. And that is a very, very, very nice sip. I do think that this one might come out on top over the one on the left on both aspects, nose and palate. Just for that, I think it's a little bit more well-balanced. I think that this is a little bit more approachable. I know that these are not acquirable, which is, it's a sad thing. But nonetheless, I think that if you were able to get your hands on one of these two, whatever this is, I might go for this one. But, you know, we've got to get into the last glass here on the right. And let's get into it, and then we're going right to left to figure out if I screwed anything up. But let's get in the nose. This is a little bit more herbal. It's got a little bit of a lemony quality coming through on it. That oaky presence is there, a little bit more prevalent. I get a touch more that from glass 2, it had that medicinal cherry note. This is more like that fruity, punchy cherry note. Yeah, I think that this is a bold nose. This is coming through as very, very rich and bold, and I can only imagine what this might do on the palate. I have my guesses as to what all three of these are so far. They, as much as I wanted them to be so similar, they are very, very different. You know, your initial nose is kind of the same, but when you start to dig into it and find those nuances, they're very, very different. And it's very, very prevalent how different they are just off of the nose. Let's get to the palate. Wow. Yeah. That is so well balanced. It's got the proof. You know that it's got the proof. But the proof just, the ethanol and the alcohol and the vapors just dissipate so quickly. But it is a very thick, creamy, luscious, viscous mouthfeel that just comes through with a bunch of bold sweetness with this vanilla caramel drizzle over top of like a creme brulee. Like you already have that crusted, hard, sweetened burnt sugar on top. You've got the custard underneath, and then you've got this vanilla caramel drizzle over top that just comes through so beautifully on this glass that these other two didn't have. So I don't even know if I have to go through these one more time. But you know what? We're going to finish these glasses, give them their rightful way out, and I will give you guys my final thoughts and opinions and rankings of these three glasses when we come back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. We're going to taste these one more time, right to left, and well, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our rankings. We've got whatever was all the way to the right back in first place, and we've got whatever was in the middle stayed in the middle, and whatever was on the left-hand side moved to last place. So my initial thoughts on these were that the one in third place, the one that got last, it just had this ethanol burn that wasn't the most enjoyable thing about it. It had a little bit more of a bitterness to it compared to the middle one. The middle one, going back and forth through it, had this oakiness that came through, this tannic drying effect that came through on it. And I think that what that is it's the lower proof, but you're still getting what that oakiness did to that bourbon. So my initial thought process on this is you've got the 10-year, the 12-year, and then the 15-year that just was leaps and bounds better than the other two. I think that the 15-year just was, it's the cream of the crop, right? A lot of people say that the 15-year is the best out of the lineup. The 20 and the 23 are just over oaked, but because of the name and the age statement, those just go for astronomical prices. But hey, let's find out right now. Let's find out what came in third place. Third place goes to letter C, and letter C is, let's just take a look here, is the 10-year. So the 10-year came in third place. And let's see here, A and then B. A is the 15-year, and B is the 12-year. So there you guys have it. I mean, I know we're not all going to be able to get all three of these bottles, yet alone one of them. But if you're in the market, you win a lottery, you can take my thought process on this, and if you have the option of picking up the 10 or the 12-year, my thought process, even though it's 90 proof, it's one of the best 90 proof bourbons that I personally have ever had. My 2022 is really, really good. This one is really, really good. I really want to know how they stack up with them, but I'll do that blind with my buddy who gave me these bottles. Not going to do it myself. But nonetheless, I do think that the 12-year is a little bit better than the 10-year. But if you have the option to get only the 10-year, by all means, it's a great bottle. But if you can get the 15-year, this is just one of the best sips of whiskey that you can have made here in America. I think that this one, just as good as the sip that I had from last year's release, is just one of those that is holy bajoli. But I could be completely wrong. I could be completely right. It's the Christmas season. I hope you guys are getting those bottles that you're looking for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But until next time, it's been Nathan, the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.